Hi, my name is Jason Thomas and I'm the developer of Swappy. Now Swappy is like a Swiss Army knife for developers. I mean, it does currently 7 different things, from creating enframe jpgs to creating stage links, copying files to a directory, renaming files by adding a prefix or a suffix, or even removing parts of the file name. It can also zip folders based on either the folder name, or it'll search in and find the HTML and rename it by that HTML name. It can also find and replace copy from within HTML files, JS, text files, PHP, things like that. It'll go in there and find and replace automatically and save it back to file. And it can also manipulate text clipboard data. Sometimes when you're copying copy from let's say Word, it comes with a lot of formatting on it, and sometimes you just want to, let's say, clear that formatting, or maybe you want to create everything uppercase or lowercase. And so let me just go right into it and I'll show you how this thing works. So here's Swappy, and to make it very convenient, I added this little Autohide. So this now just exists on the side of your computer. You can put it either on this side or the other side. And so here I've got a few examples of what we are trying to do. So here is an HTML5 banner that I just finished publishing, and inside, when we take a look, here's our banner. And right now the click tag is not working because we need to go into the HTML page and update a number of things before we can place it onto the stage. One, we got to get rid of the margins, we got to add a click tag, and add a number of different things. So what we're going to do here, we're going to just close this, and we're going to come here, and we're going to take this HTML. Now over here I've got to find and replace. So we're going to replace all the HTTP with HTTPS. Now when I take a look at this within Dreamweaver, we're going to see here that usually we have to go in here and update all of these by hand, or if you did a find and replace within the Dreamweaver, you could do it as well like that. And it's a bit tedious. So here we just grab our Pathfinder here and our Swappy. So we take this and we drag it to the section that we want to do. So here we want to do a find and replace all of these things. So here it does successfully copied the HTTP to HTTPS 4 times. It's replaced this script with the click tag. It's updated the background to add a margin of 0. And these are all the different things that you can do, and you can add these more and more here. And so now when we take a look at the file, it's got rid of the margins because we set that to margins. The click tag is now working as it should, and this thing's all ready. And so that is for the find and replace. Now let's say we need to do a click tag, right? Not a click tag, but we have to do an enframe, right? So we need to take this data. So we right click and copy this image data. We go over here, and this is the max and min JPEG. So we want it to be as close to 20K without going over, but we also want to make it higher than 19. So we just click here from clipboard, and it will go through and find the right percentage so that we get the closest value to 20 without going over. And it will automatically make that file accessible. So we're just going to come over here, and we can add that to the banners here. So actually we're going to put it right here. And now when we take a look, we've got our end frame somewhere here. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Now it also remembers the last name of the file that we used, so it makes it a lot easier so we don't have to keep renaming them. The other thing too, after we've actually created these banners, we have to actually place them to the stage. And so from here, we would have to come in here, and I've already got the stage prepared. And what we're going to do is we're going to, instead of having to copy all of these files and move them over, you can grab these files and say copy to directory. And it's going to automatically create the folder structures and place the banner into the right area. Now, what is really interesting about this is how it detects and how it finds the right folder. Is that each folder has a name, and as it goes up along the folder structure, right here, do you see this 54321 for testing? It detects the 5-digit docket number, and that becomes, I kind of call it like the root folder, where it's not going to continue and find all of the other names. It's going to stop here because it detected this 54321, and based on that, it's going to place it onto the stage on the folder 54321, and then we'll keep the same folder structure. So this makes it really, really nice and convenient. I can take this, grab these folders, copy it to stage, and it automatically places everything for you. Then later, let's say you wanted to get the staging links. You want to be able to give that to your project manager. You grab this and you add to the stage link prefix section, and it'll generate these URLs. And so then when I come and do my email and I create a new one, I've got my URLs already ready. Okay? And they're all ready to go. I can click on this and you can see that all of the information and everything is already working automatically. And now all I did was drag and drop these files onto the stage prefix with a copy folder, things like that. Now let's say we come over here and we want to now zip these folders up. Okay, we're ready. We've already got our enframe JPEG, and so now it's time to zip these things up. So we have a zip folder here. Here it is, and you can either zip the name of the zip file can either be by the folder name, which is usually the standard that we see. So we come over here and we can zip it, and it'll create the zip file based on the name here, 200 by 200. Or I can go by the HTML name. And so what it's going to do is I take this folder, and when I drag it, it's going to find the HTML, and it's going to rename the zip file based on the HTML. So here we go. Zip folder, boom. All right, there it is. So here's a zip folder with the name that was the HTML. And so there you go. Now I can just take this and I can move this to the delivery folder, and we're good. The other thing too is when we're working with HTML emails, we have to do a lot of different things. So let's open this into Dreamweaver. Okay. So here's an email, and we sometimes need to grab, let's say, a large chunk of copy like this, and we have to put it into the text file, which is very specific. Let me come over here. The maximum width is 64 characters. And so we have these different lines, and we try to, every time we copy this line into here, we need to make sure that it's maximum 64 characters. Here, I can take the copy, which is currently on the clipboard, and I can click line break. And it will take this and break it into all of this individual lines. So if I come in here, see how that just broke all of that data, okay, into a 64 character maximum edge. And the other thing too is that you've got this one here called a text friendly. And when we do HTMLs, a lot of times we have, let's say, an R-ball, okay, that needs to be in brackets with an R. And so this thing will automatically switch all the R balls, the trademarks, you know, the asterisks, you know, anytime it does a a superscript, when we have superscript 1, superscript 2, or the daggers, all of those things will automatically be converted into their text-friendly symbol, and then it will all automatically adjust for the 64 character maximum width. You can also clear formatting, or you can make everything uppercase. So we can take this, and now it still has the original 64K character max here. But now, if we delete that, and let's say I took this and I wanted to make it uppercase, right? It makes everything uppercase, or it can be lowercase or anything like that. And so as you can see, many of these things that we do repeatedly and that we have, and it can be very tedious, Swappy really streamlines all of those things. And basically, it swaps everything. It can swap one URL for another. It can swap files into a different category. Oh yeah, also the renaming of files. Let's say here we have all of these particular things, and we've got this name right here that we need to change, okay? Let's say it can't be that anymore. It needs to be a different name. So we come over here, we put this into the file name, and we're going to say, let's remove, okay? So what we do is we can take, let's say, just these files here, and I click it onto the file name. It is now going to basically create a duplicate, but it's going to remove those files and create now the ones without that name. Now we can go and we can manipulate that and say, oh, actually it needs to be the 23rd, and then add that back as a prefix. Let me see. And we rename, boom, and we're back. Okay. Now in this case, it was probably not a good idea that I changed the 23rd, because now it's going to break the whole email. But that's basically how this works. I hope that makes sense. I hope you can see that this can really save developers a lot of time. It's already saved me tons of time when I'm building these banners or emails, HTML emails. So thank you for your time, and you have a great day.